planning fee changes, is there a way to, where do we stack up to other downriver communities or page 4? I just see a variety of increases, and I don't know if that's us catching up to what the market is charging. Are we becoming an industry leader in fees? Where does this stack up?
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Councilman, I don't have that answer. I did not see Laura's response when she sent this to Jason or Budget Finance, so I'm not sure if they benchmarked against other communities and as a result found that we were on the backside of the tier. So I would have to inquire with Laura and get you a proper answer.
Thank you.
I will tell you, just going back to Councilwoman Pat's question on the tree, I believe, I don't know about the permit, I'll find out the answer, but I believe that only applies to lots 2 acres or larger. So I don't believe that if it's a residential lot, that they would have to comply with the same thing, unless it was in a right-of-way, and then they do have to fill out a right-of-way permit, but it is a free permit.
So this would be almost like a
More of
property
your
that's on your superior.
commercial, industrial, that kind of thing.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, excuse me. I don't know, Jason, if you have any input on Laura's response when those changes came through?
Yeah, actually, Mayor, I do not, but we can research it and I can send an email to Laura to try this communication.
She can just forward it to us and just say, we're just curious why those were increased. Discussion? Item 19 is a motion to receive and file TIFA approval of payment for the Michigan Municipal League membership 2019-2020 dues for a total of $13,908.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Again, this is a reoccurring through the municipality league that we do every year. I'm sure you're familiar with it. If you're not, it's really just a resource to the municipalities within Michigan. They do things like advocacy, collective bargaining, education, training, actually even like elected officials if they're new to the position. They offer that free. Executive service management. Also, new this year is placemaking and redevelopment ready, which we're looking into. You can be identified as a redevelopment ready community, which actually makes it the first two for all development.
Barn Ferris still are basically rep down there, right?
Our lot is correct,
Okay.
not for the MML.
Okay, she's
GCSI.
Okay.
I suggest you go to the website. It's very informative.
Yeah, there are, these and what is it, what's the one?
GCSI.
GCSI. You can go on their sites and, they have seminars and stuff like that if you guys would ever be interested in something like that. Because I remember when the government race was going on, the governor race, we went down there and they, the Democrats came in, talked about their race, and then the Republicans came in, and then an independent. And it was really interesting to hear all 3 sides and see how, and then how the lobbyists work and stuff. So, definitely something you guys, if you're interested, definitely take. But that's what we pay our dues for.
They've all been offering a lot of training on the medical marijuana. I know that, I don't know if Cindy went, but Sarah went, and Laura, and maybe somebody, there may have been somebody from PD, I don't remember, but they do offer a lot of different free training.
All right, item 20 is a motion to receive and file TIFA approval of Wade Trim to conduct Eureka Corridor Phase 2, detailed design and engineering for an amount not to exceed $895,700. Mr. Sutherland?
Yes, sir. Through the chair, I have David from Wade Trim, but I can speak to it too also. This phase 2 is the corridor and drain improvements. I just thought this was interesting because when I walked the corridor, if you notice, like we're looking at enclosing the drain by telegraph, and it's really just a safety risk. Like there's a resident walking right on Eureka for that, but this is the gateway signage and to improve the drain flow and to enclose the drain. There's been so much exciting things going on with the Eureka Corridor. with the development, you guys probably also heard that it's probably the hottest area around. We're one of the only malls that are still doing
I know.
extremely well. I think there's 12 Oaks, Somerset, and us. Most of the Northland, those malls are struggling, and there's articles coming through all the time that they're struggling. But we seem to be doing really well, and when you got BJ's opening up, and you got Menards on the corner, and then also that old Jean and Tops, that's right by Telegraph. If you notice, they're remodeling that, it's really exciting. They're gonna have an Xfinity store and a salon. So it's really a great opportunity to us really make this a destination for people around. And we put banners up there, eat, shop, play, you know, down there. So we really want to brand the corridor. And these are to the next steps of the phase 2. With that,
I'd just like to refresh my memory on, I got a couple of questions here, refresh my memory on phase 1. And this is all part of the Wayne County settlement, or so to speak. I'm just curious, what has Wayne County done since we've had that settlement of this proposed money we were supposed to receive in work? I really haven't seen any work done down there other than I-75 in Eureka. So, I mean, aren't they the ones that should be encapsulating that drain, or are we paying for that?
Mr. Chairman, if I could, I believe how the settlement reads is that they're going to do as many of the services that are Act 51 eligible. So there could be chargebacks at some point in time against their portion of it. Even some of the traffic lights that were installed that were able to offset that portion against our part of the agreement. So I suspect the Wayne County portion won't kick in until much of the engineering is done, because they're going to do the physical improvements. The work being done on the I-75 interchange, I think, is an MDOT. I don't think it has anything to do with Wayne County. So I don't think that Wayne County's done anything yet. But once all the design and engineering is done, that's when the vast majority of their contribution will take effect.
And that's hypothetically $9 million worth of work.
Yeah, I think it's about 8.5 each way. Yeah.
We're talking about the Northland Road Agreement, right?
Yes, the settlement.
and through the chair, I work off of a timeline. I meet with them once a week to make sure that they're on target. And yeah, some of the challenges is to keep Wayne County on that timeline.
Well, and that was council's concern in both, and that's what we need to do, because I'm skeptical whether I believe that work is going to be done or not. So I hope we're holding their foot,
Yes, sir.
to the fire. So.
And I don't know, David, has
Yeah,
anything to add or?
speak a little bit about that. Phase 1 was a lot of conceptual base design, a lot of renderings, a lot of like just concepts and trying to get the public's and your guys' involvement and ideas. So phase 2 is when we actually start drawing the blueprints and the construction documents. And then so after we nail those down is when, like you heard, you'll start seeing construction take place.
Okay, so this $895,000 is no construction whatsoever. This is just drawings.
No, it's a combination.
Oh, it is combined.
Yeah. So the first stuff that you'll see we're shooting for fall are the gateway signage on Telegraph and.
Page 1 of what we got, guys.
So there's the gateway signage for Eureka on Telegraph and Eureka, and then also the Allen Park entry signage. And so we're shooting to get those started construction that fall, and then the majority of the project will take place construction-wise March of next year. That's the goal as it stands.
David, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know going into this, one of the major concerns in terms of timing was the permitting process from MDEQ.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that's not in our control, and then going back and forth with them, and then also on the drain, we're still in communication with MDOT to try and we're still sorting out a lot of the paperwork. So.
And talking to Andy and Kelly, just a ballpark, but they said that could take up to 18 months just to have MDEQ permit the encapsulation of the Francophone drain.
Permitting always.
And we're doing it all the way past Southland, correct?
Well, so the corridor that's really kind of the center of focus is Telegraph to Allen, but the portion that we're going to try to encapsulate is Telegraph almost to Party, or maybe to Party if we can get that far. And there's two schools of thought. One, there's a safety issue, which is that drain is right up against Eureka in much of the corridor, which is, I think, some of the photos you're seeing.
Yeah.
And then there's the aesthetic value, but there's also the cost. I mean, to give you an idea, the rough estimates per linear foot to encapsulate was like $1,200 per linear foot versus about $150 just to restore and get it back to its original condition. So the answer is about, we're going to try to do like a 50-50 split of encapsulation and just cleaning and restoration.
So the plan has changed.
No, that's always been the plan.
I have a map I can just show you.
Okay,